Welcome back to Toledo's most watched 9 a.m. show. Good day.
Yeah, so there are two very distinct meanings to this word. Football.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we know it as the All-American game played on a field 100 yards long, others know the football we call soccer.
Right, but in this case, we're bringing Europeans to America to play American football. Nick Eyde is here from the Italian Bowl. It's the Super Bowl of American football in Europe.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. And there's a distinction. So the word for soccer in Italy is calcio, which means kick. So in England, when they say football, it's soccer. But in Italy, when they say calcio, it means soccer.
Okay.
And then football. The confusion can sometimes be football they think is rugby, but now it's becoming more prevalent.
Oh my goodness.
It's a little distinct. Yeah.
I thought I knew sports. So this is year number 2 to have the Italian Bowl right here in the Glass City.
Yeah,
why bring it back?
This is the 44th Italian Bowl, second time it's being played outside of Italy, and we were just thinking this was going to be, one time, let's have an experience, bring this event here, and then about 2 or 3 months after the event, the league, the Federation of American Football, reached out to us in our group, and we were hearing things from folks here that said this was a lot of fun. We didn't know much about it. We didn't know how big, football is getting around the world. Flag football is now an Olympic sport in 2028. It'll be played in Los Angeles in the Olympic Games, and Italy is right now rated number 2 in the world in flag football. So we said, okay, there's a lot to build on. The community really embraced the event, loved it, and we said, let's try to do it again.
Yeah, and because it's American football, but it has gained all of this popularity. You've played in the Italian league, right, in Europe. How different is it than maybe playing here?
Yeah, the rules are NCAA rules, and the differences are really in, cultural nuances and the way that, kids grow up playing. And I use a good example of Kobe Bryant, grew up in really his formative years were in the town of Reggio Emilia in Italy, where he learned a really unique style of basketball where his game was really unique because he bridged a couple of different cultures. You see the same thing in American football. These guys are really studious on the technique side. When I came there, I was impressed at how some of these guys who maybe had exposure to the game 2 or 3 years knew the whole history of it, knew technique that I didn't see. And then the beauty for me is the way these guys play. For them, they work day jobs much like the beginning founding fathers of our American football leagues, guys like Otto Graham, Deacon Jones, and these guys worked day jobs so they could play at night and do things like that. And that's the same thing with these guys. But there's such a passion for this game that comes through, and I think people noticed that when it was played at the Glass Bowl in 2023, that there's just a special emotion and passion that these guys bring to it.
Yeah, love that. So talk to us a bit about what we can expect when it comes to Italian football. Like, are we expecting things to be as competitive as what we know when we watch American football?
It's kind of a hybrid. So you'll have some guys, you have 3 American import players, and some of these guys have NFL experience or high-level college experience or Division III experience. So you get kind of a mix between that. And then there are guys on the Italian side who have ended up in the NFL, in different capacities. And in fact, we just found out that Ashton Genty, who will be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, started playing football in Naples and had his first experience there. So it's a very high, competitive style of football compared to Division II, Division III college level. But as you'll see in a lot of the folks that were there at the game last time, there's a passion that comes through that's contagious because these guys are doing this because they love the game.
Right. They work at day jobs, and that's amazing. A lot of dedication there. So what can we expect around the game? Because for me, I love sports, but I like the other stuff too. The eats or the activities or all that stuff. Yeah,
leading up to the game, there's going to be Italian Restaurant Week. A lot of the restaurants in the area are participating, and I really encourage everybody to go to theitalianbowlusa.com. Tickets are on that. Taste of Italy, Passport to Italy, all the different events coming up to it. There's a Mayor's Cup again, where a lot of mayors within the region. I think there's some mayors coming from Michigan to compete against other mayors in a skills competition. That'll be a lot of fun. John Grisham, the author of Playing for Pizza, which is about the Italian Bowl, was here in 2023, had an amazing time in Toledo. He's looking to come back. His team is Parma. So when you read the book, you'll see his connection to Parma. And so I think there's just a lot to experience on the cultural and then food side, of course, with that.
Give me the pasta.
Awesome. So speaking of the cultural side of things, I like to watch soccer, and you see the fan base is totally different than the American fan base. When they go to a game,
Right.
it's kind of like chill, let's look cool, let's scroll through social media. But in Europe, it's a lot of chanting, and they are involved. Like they're a part of
team
the
sport.
team.
Yeah.
So it's a real
Yeah.
team sport. So is it the same thing with Italian football?
That's a great point. Yes, the different Americans who have gone over the past few years as we've been putting this together have noticed the same thing. They're saying, even at these football games, the Italian fans are chanting, and they have their different chants. Some are in English, some are in Italian. They chant the whole game, and they are active in
That's
the
fun.
game. Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, so you'll be totally involved. Okay, the game is June
June 28th.
and at the Glass Bowl at
the
UT.
Glass Bowl,
And you can
yes.
get your tickets online right now. So start making plans for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, bring it back again another year too. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, we'd love to.
Let's work on it. Okay, so we just told you the postseason starts tonight for the Toledo Walleye.
We'll break down the fan experience if you can get your hands on a ticket right after the break.